My brother's got a black friend.
Toughing it out in Hawaii on business, company business. In this half hour, we'll have a fascinating story that has all the ingredients of a Hollywood screenplay. It is Hollywood, but it is a true story of a murder that went unsolved for almost 60 years.
To many young Americans, the name Roy Rogers means a fast food chain, but others of us remember Roy as the king of the cowboys who, along with his queen, Dale Evans, cranked out enough westerns to fill a movie library. And now Roy Rogers and Dale Evans and that library are back on television, and as we'll see in just a few minutes, it's Happy Trails again. You don't remember that, do you?
Of course I do.
I thought you were more yuppie. That's kind of my generation. I thought you knew him as a restaurateur.
I wasn't born a yuppie.
All right.
Right. Our music reporter, Rona Elliott, has an interview with British rock star Joe Jackson. But first at the news desk, here's Bob James. Real life whodunit was played out on the front pages. It appeared to have police baffled. It had sex, drugs, money, homosexuality, blackmail, glamour, and a lot of famous names. Well, now 64 years after the fact, a new book called A Cast of Killers by Sidney Kirkpatrick names the murderer of film director Desmond Taylor. Now, Taylor was one of the leading directors in 1922 when he was found shot in the back in his plush Hollywood bungalow. When police arrived, they found people from Paramount Studios already there, and a lot of clues. But the killer was never brought to justice. The scandal surrounding Taylor's murder ended the careers of comedy star Mabel Normand and of actress Mary Miles Minter. Minter was the leading ingenue of the day, appeared with Taylor in front of the camera, was said to be madly in love with him behind it. In 1967, director King Vidor, who had been a Taylor contemporary, solved the murder. But it wasn't until Sidney Kirkpatrick started going through Vidor's papers that anyone would say publicly, "Who done it?" So who cares after all these years, 64 years? A Hollywood scandal. Who cares?
Well, Jane, if you think Hollywood is bad now, you should have seen it back in 1922. A Cast of Killers is about the most sensational, most scandalous crime in Hollywood history. The cold-blooded murder of Hollywood film director William Desmond Taylor. This is a murder that has absolutely everything. Sex, drugs, blackmail, as big a dose of political intrigue as you'd find in Watergate.
Who are our suspects?
Suspects, a number of major Hollywood personalities. Mabel Normand was a very important suspect.
Can I stop you there? Mabel Normand, she was a comedy star. Can you compare today, who might she have been in terms of how big a star she was? Could you compare her to a contemporary?
I don't really want to.
She was big, all right.
She was a major comedy star with the Keystone Cops, and
all right.
The police knew that she was the last known visitor to Taylor's bungalow. She became a major suspect when it was discovered that not only did she have a major drug problem, but that William Desmond Taylor himself might have been her supplier.
Is that true?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Who was another suspect?
Edward Sands became a second suspect. He was Taylor's chauffeur and secretary. He became a suspect when it was believed that he was blackmailing the director for sexual encounters that the director had been having.
Was he?
There's a lot of evidence to support that.
Who was another suspect?
Mary Miles Minter, another huge silent film star, sort of Paramount's replacement for Mary Pickford, became a third suspect when her nightie was found in Taylor's bungalow. She claimed not to have visited the director for at least a month before the murder, and on the director's jacket, the jacket he died in, 2 of her hairs were found on the jacket.
Aha. Were they planted there?
A lot of people believed they were. I believe they weren't. Her mother became sort of the final and most important suspect. She had a pistol identical to the one believed to have been used in the Taylor murder, and she was known to have threatened other film directors who had been playing around with her then underage daughter. She
was our murderer.
Well, a lot of people believe that. The great part about A Cast of Killers is that it's really an unsolved murder. Right now, to this very day, the LAPD records are still open on this case. In a cast of killers, I named the killer for the very first time. I discovered that King Vidor, great Hollywood director, man who brought us The Fountainhead, Duel in the Sun, War and Peace, had launched his own secret private investigation. He not only discovered who killed William Desmond Taylor, but discovered how it was pulled off and how the killer evaded capture, virtually right until this day.
I'm not going to tell the whole story because part of the fascination of the book is your investigation into the results of his. Once he found the answer, he hid it. Well, read the book. We'll be back after a station break.
Landing a high-performance jet fighter on the pitching deck of a ship is all in a day's work.
Hollywood in the 1920s. Silent movies, sex, and scandal. And a notorious murder involving the biggest names in Tinseltown. That murder would remain a mystery for a half-century, until a top Hollywood director turned detective and solved the murder. But the director took the secret to his grave.
American kids, Chinese kids, brought together.
Well, these trivia questions are tough. Okay, Boom Boom. What did Al Capone say when surrounded by the FBI?
Back it up.
He's right. I don't believe it.
Name the English band that performed the first rock opera.
Ooh, he's right again. Amazing.
All right.
What beer tastes so good, it's the second largest selling beer in America?
Miller Lite.
Coming right up.
You won the game. This game is easy.
No question about it. There's only one light beer. Miller Lite.